Well, such an active situation, so much death, but so many questions right now.
We're joined right now by David Katz. He's the founder and CEO of Global Security Group and worked for the Department of Justice. David, talk to us, please, about the process of trying to track down this gunman whose name we now know is Robert Card.
Yeah, well, tracking him down, they're doing the right things. They're going to probably get hits off license plate readers. In addition, they're going to be able to track cameras back. They've located his car. I don't know if they have him pinned down anywhere or if he's on foot. But the typical response would be find the car, and then once you've established that he's on foot and not switching vehicles, you have at least a geographic location where you can try to contain him.
You know, let me ask you this. Clearly, we know who this man is now. We've just been given his name. We also know that he has a history of military service. He's a firearm instructor. He's had mental health issues, as we just heard from Safan Kim. Can you tell us what they're doing now to learn more about him? And you know, where are they actually going to try to figure out where he may be hiding or going next?
Well, the first point you raise is the really important one, because without exception, and I mean without exception, there's no such thing as an active shooter who was like Mr. Rogers one day and just snaps. That doesn't happen. There's a progression where these people act in a way that raises concern to people around them. And apparently, from what's being reported now, he actually has a history of mental health issues, which should have been enough to have authorities go to his house, remove his weapons, and make sure he doesn't have any ability to purchase new weapons. But that's not done. It's never done. And that's the problem. We keep seeing the same pattern repeat over and over and over again, where people who should not have access to firearms are not prevented from getting their hands on them.
Yeah, and just not any kind of firearms, but automatic weapons. David, I'm curious. I did a quick search looking for how many mass shootings there have been in Maine, and between 1982 and the summer of this year, 2023, there were 0. So what does that tell you? It can happen everywhere.
Yeah, it can happen everywhere. Absolutely. All it takes, it's not the geographic location, it's the individual who is perpetrating the event. And we've seen a lot of events in look at the horror in Uvalde. That was basically a rural community, and you'd never expect it in a quiet community like that. Yeah. And yet it happens, and it happens repeatedly. But again, and by the way, another example of someone who was well known to authorities. Everyone knew he had the propensity for violence, and yet he was not prevented from getting his hands on a firearm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, David Katz. Thank you for joining us. And right now, we actually want to go to a picture of the suspect. His name, again, is Robert Card. Authorities absolutely know who this man is. Right now, they are trying to search for him. He is on the run at this point. They have told us that he has a history of military service. He is a firearm instructor and has mental health issues.
Okay. All right. Again, we are waiting for a press conference right now from authorities in Maine. Obviously, 2 towns on shutdown. We're going to continue to give you the latest information. ABC News will also give you the latest information online and on the air, of course, as we go through the night. Nightline is going to have much more coming up on this night. And Eyewitness News reporters Sonia Rincon and Dan Krauth, both right now heading to the state of Maine. You can watch their reports all day tomorrow. That's going to begin at 4:30 in the morning here on Channel 7. Eyewitness News again will bring you that press conference as it happens on air and online.